Hi, I've been tagged by Slingshot Warrior to showcase not only my out in the world self-defense items, but my in-home self-defense, home defense items. And here we go. Starting with pepper spray. Pepper spray. I have been open carrying my pepper spray lately because it's very quick to get. I don't have to fumble around in my coat pocket or my shorts pocket or whatnot. Open carry. You know, I like the larger Twist-A-Lot can. Has a very good delivery. Different brands will have their stuff in the same can. Most companies. Good delivery. A nice, good spread at about 6 to 8 feet away. It makes a nice spread that would kind of covers the face pretty well. Okay. Pepper spray every day. And what I call a personal fogger. This is the ASP Defender 2. And it's got these refills here inside there. It's 1.4% capsaicin, very hot. It's only about 3 feet, and it's a good personal. If somebody's too close, you know, you could miss with the nice thing. You can't get your arm out there, and this, you know, coming out from here in this position, it's closer in, and it's more of a personal fogger. All right, you get it. Now, tactical pen and flashlight, something you can have in your hands. No matter where you're walking, you can't really walk around with pepper spray in your hands. So a flashlight, I don't always have a flashlight on me. Not that heavy one anyways. But we're not talking about flashlights here. So I like this tactical pen because it has this nice, big, beefy clip that has a nice ring around the thing. It's very strong, it's not gonna break on you. I'll put that in my waistband of my shorts or my sweats or whatnot, even my pajamas, I don't know. Grab it, poke. There's no opening or anything, right? But you always have to have a knife on you though, too, you know. So we're not all less lethal here. So you have to have a knife on you anyways, in case you have to cut a seatbelt or an airbag, and sometimes even Amazon packages. So, you know, you never know. Alrighty now. Pepper spray, pens, launcher time. Okay, inside waistband. Lately it's been these little guys, okay? Because they're compact, they're lightweight, I'm gonna carry them. This is really good in a coat pocket because it slides in and out really nice. I like how the safety's back here. This one's taped off. Now, this is the Aim and Fire. You can get the black one on Home Wrecker. Home Wrecker. Maybe I'll leave you a link, maybe I won't, but it's Home Wrecker. Self-defense items. There's this thing called Google. Anyways, this cheap holster, very thin and flimsy. I like it because it's very thin. And it works well for these guys. Now, why do I call these launchers when it's just pepper spray inside? The Aim and Fire by Saber, the Mace Pepper gun. I call it a blaster. Why do I call these launchers? Why am I including these with these? These. Well, there's a reason for that. And the reason is they do have an edge over just any old pepper spray, all right? Now, I do pick the pepper spray that I use because it has a good, strong delivery, right? This is somewhat of a weaker delivery, but I tell you, I am a dead-on shot with this thing. Being able to aim is a big advantage, I think. And this reaches out pretty far when you're at the top of the canister. Okay. When you're at the top of the canister, there's a pretty good amount of pressure in there, and it'll reach out a good 10 feet. Okay, and this one is a blaster. It's just a big splooge. Okay, so that is why I call that These are less lethal launchers. That's right. Liquid launchers. That's what East Coast Less Lethal calls them. Liquid launchers. All right, let me just try to keep myself organized here. So, what are these other launchers I'm flashing around? The Gen 2 HDP 50. I like it a lot. It's more powerful a little bit than the first one. This punch cap is far superior, and I don't mind having a punch cap showing there. I don't like the extender things, to be honest. Steel ball bearings. 12.5 millimeter will not jam. The 12.7s will. The 12.5 millimeter will not jam. The 12.7 will. So steel ball bearings. I took the restrictor out. The Gen 2 comes without a block, but with a restrictor, which is different from the first one. The hole in the restrictor is nice and fat. Works great for consistency. If you're shooting pepper balls, awesome. California, we're not allowed to have pepper balls, so it's all kinetic. I like the steel ball bearings. Roughly about 20 joules at the top, like for the first 2 rounds. You know, I might, the rest of the rounds might be steel core riot balls. Now, these launchers like this, the TCP, running the TCP with nitrogen right now because it's cold. But it's starting to warm up now. We can put it back to the CO2. I've got the 12 gram magazines. DK Spencer's Kinetics, BK Kinetics is what I run in this. I recommend those to you, but I also recommend you test them to make sure they're going to work for you. I've got good detents. I've got a DK Spencer power barrel in here, cut down, custom. You make sure, watch DK Spencer's videos about that. He knows what he's talking about. So these larger, and that does include this one because I'll tell you what, it's a little less easy to carry, this one, even though it's a little smaller. This one's actually a little easier to carry. Can you tell why? Because most of it is up here above my waistband. This longer part inside my waistband is a little annoying, and it prints a little. Now, launchers like this are at my side in my truck in my lunch bag. Okay. In my truck. So now we're going from personal to the truck. So in the truck, these, mostly in the truck, and they will go in my waistband when I get out of the truck, at gas stations, sketchy neighborhoods, industrial areas, anywhere close to freeways. See if you can name some more. Okay, I'm in the Bay Area, Northern California, and I'm fairly close to a lot of shitty cities. You know, where I am is nice. It's fairly low crime, but we're surrounded by shitty cities, and it will bleed in. It will. Now, in the truck also, bear mace for the face. I have this hung off my dashboard right next to my steering wheel, just to the right of my shifter. And it's bear mace, you know. What else can I say? It's freaking bear mace. Okay, nice long string, so I don't have to lose it. Bear mace for the face. So now, other options, honorable mentions. Black powder, ready to strike. This is a Wells Fargo 30 caliber black powder, and this is a little Derringer single shot 31 caliber. I've watched some videos. I'm not an expert on this stuff yet at all, but have these. Now let's go home. So we've talked about personal. We got in the truck. Now we're at home. Okay. I'm not a felon. I just live in California, right? I do have firearms in the closet, but we're not going to talk about those today. We're going to stick with air. So, home. I've got some other builds that I'm working on, and they're going to be awesome. I know it. One of them's pretty much done, but this is really something that you could put together really fast without having to do a lot of tuning. You would have to take it apart and remove the block, and it's not very hard to do because inside the plastic is another shell, so you're not going all the way into the guts. So just inside the plastic, you could get to, you know, the little the pressure thingy, right? It's pretty easy to do. Lots of videos on it. Very similar to the HDP 50 and the HDR. Removing the valve block. Okay. And then going HPA, just a regular bottle, 800 output, 800 PSI output. You don't have to get a fancy bottle with high output. You can get this, doesn't have to be fancy. I don't need it to be fancy. Okay, this is just strapped on there with Ranger bands. Okay, so back on track. HDB 68 with the block removed, HPA added with just the simple dimple. You know, you can get fancy and have it come out the back end if you want and learn how to do that, but I didn't have time. I don't have time for that sometimes. So 70 joules, up to 70 joules. I hemmed and hawed over that a little too long. I apologize. HDB with HPA up to 70 joules. And that's with Grimberg's. These are the aluminums, so these are like 65-ish. Okay. Yeah. Love that. I painted that yellow, you see, just to, because, you know, in an emergency situation, you lose some of your motor skills and you get a little tunnel vision-y and a little panicky. Well, normal people. Not you badasses out there, I know. So, all right. Now, if you want to get with PCP rifle, and this is high powered. This is like 62 foot-pounds of energy, which is like around 80 joules. This is a 25 caliber lever action. This is the Seneca Eagle Claw, and I love this thing. Now, if you want to go with a PCP air gun, I suggest getting one that does not have a regulator. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about having a regulator so that every shot is consistent, right? And you can't leave it aired up for weeks on end when you have a regulator in there, because there's more parts going to get damaged and it can leak. And my non-regulated PCP air guns, I keep them pumped up almost all the way for months now. They're not leaking and they shoot fine. Nothing's damaged. And that's what I recommend. Put a red dot on it. That's a flashlight. I put it on there just because I had this part and I like it. I think it's very cool, very neat. The flashlight lights up the rifle though, and it doesn't really do much good. So I'll probably turn that into a laser. Really just for fun. But yeah, doesn't come with sights. So I got the red dot. Right, so what'd we do? 15 minutes almost, you guys. Thank you very much for hanging in there that long. So this was a tagged video, which means I gotta tag somebody else. And I'm gonna tag Young Gun. I gotta let the dog out to pee. Young Gun, Less Lethal, you're up. thank you very much, Slingshot. It was fun. I like talking about myself. And have a great day. Thanks for watching.